Okay, in this presentation we're going to look at anti-joins, okay? So this would, if you're not familiar with this, I suggest you look up SQL joins. Don't go into any major detail, okay? But it is quite a important little diagnostic tool for when you're trying to merge two data tables or two data frames, okay? So what I'm going to do here first off is I'm just going to remark that there's sort of two approaches to working with large-scale data sets in R. Data table and data, which is for a lot of sort of the actual, that's my sort of favorite one for this sort of stuff. But dplyr is also, which is now part of the tidyverse, is definitely got a lot going for it, okay? Now, so there's one big sort of important characteristic of tidyverse that actually sort of makes it particularly useful for me, okay? And it actually facilitates anti-joins very well, okay? So what I'm going to do actually here is just quickly demonstrate two little data tables, data sets. So just set them up as data tables. So class of DTA, data table, data frame, okay? And here I set the primary identifier, the primary key as ID. So actually, let's actually look at DTA, there we go. So it's a very simple data set with the primary key ID identified, A, B, C, D, E, okay? What I'm going to do also is set up so another data table called data table B. Okay, data table B, just using very simple lines of code. Okay, the numeric variables have different names here, are different. So in data table A, it was x1 and y1, and in data table B, it's x1 and x2, and in data table B, it's y1 and y2. Okay, but the primary key is ID, and it's in both cases. Okay, so what you could do with, I won't get too much into this. You could do these left joins and right joins very simply and very efficiently with data table. And what happens there is that, you know, it merges very quickly, okay? Now, the sort of sole problem is that there's no real way of facilitating an anti-join, okay? And this is the thing, when you're trying to sort of like detect problems, this is what you need to, an anti-join is very useful in trying to sort of determine what did not join properly, okay? So let's just sort of concentrate on ID there, okay? So here we have some just letters of the alphabet. But let's suppose it actually was the case that we had 3 different data tables, okay? And in the ID in each of these 3 data tables was recorded as follows, okay? So A, B, and C, okay? So let's just say, for in argument's sake, on the ID column in data table A, this gets entered. And what happens here is, let's just say for argument's sake, it actually didn't get, the original source data set was Excel, okay? And this slash there in the middle, right here, just doesn't really register as a problem in Excel, okay? So, but like, you know, so essentially when we're trying to import this, got a little error, okay? Now let's just say whoever's in charge of data table B realizes this, and they said, well, I can't use a slash operator, I'll just use a hyphen or minus sign, something like that. That's fine, okay? Now, but what could happen here is C says, oh, well, you know, essentially they're very close together on the, essentially what might happen here is they might accidentally put in an underscore or something, okay? Essentially, B and C should equal to each other and should refer to the same case, but they don't. And these little sort of data cleaning problems arise a lot. And what actually, you can actually just like somebody put in an underscore by accident when they meant to put in a minus sign. And if you're looking at like a big load of data, like 70,000 cases, you're going to miss this, right? You know, particularly if like 69,999 of them are okay. You might just miss this underscore. You know, essentially you have to find a way of finding out if this is a problem, okay? So this is where the anti-join comes in, okay? So this is how you do it in R. Anti-join of DTA and DTB. There we go. Okay, so essentially what happens here is this is a way of detecting what did not get joined in a left join or a right join, okay? And what may have been the case here is that you actually compare and contrast, and you might see that there's something here that should almost be identical to something down here. I'm just picking A and F there, but really I meant the examples I used previously. Like, for example, this sort of thing, that they should match up, but essentially it actually identifies the cases where something went wrong. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, that's the anti-join. It's very, very useful. Don't underrate it. Great. It's a great diagnostic tool. Okay.